So this year's been fun, right? Today I'm talking about my goals for 2020. I am recapping quarter one and quarter two of this year while also reviewing what I hope to accomplish in quarter three. Now, I'm a big proponent of quarterly goals, and I find that I am my most productive when I work in 3-month chunks at a time. Now I'm just gonna dive right in. So let's recap quarter one of 2020. In terms of my HQ digital column, I had hoped to write 80,000 words for Barefoot on the Beach, my most recent release, and I believe I reached around 78,000 words, so I count that as pretty darn close. I allotted time for 1 to 2 developmental edits. I only ended up doing 1, so that's a good check mark. I had a line item for copy edits, which are done. I scheduled my blog tour, and I checked my schedule for release promo. I usually do 30-day promo for my book, so I reviewed my schedule for all of that. I sent out a newsletter each month for January, February, and March. And the only thing I didn't do in this column was review my spreadsheet for my taxes. I usually review this quarterly, and that I did not do. So in terms of YouTube, I wanted to sort of backlog my captions for my videos, which I did do. Probably 85% of the videos I was using Rev.com, but now I'm using Temi. T-E-M-I, if you want to check it out. I will also link that in the description box below. I am not a sponsor or anything, but I really enjoy the price point and also the fact of how I can get captions and transcripts for my blog as well in one simple format. So my YA thriller. So I wanted to review the full outline that I completed during my trip to the Highlights Foundation, which I did. And then I'd hoped to do a chapter by chapter outline, which I did not do. And then I wanted to do 10,000 word milestones for the book, which I also did not do because partway through quarter one, I decided I wanted to make my book an adult thriller. So I had a lot of work to do. More on that in a minute. So for my entertainment column, I wanted to watch Mindhunter Season 2, The Good Place, done. The Witcher, nope, I don't think I'm coming back to that anytime soon. Just was not my cup of tea at this current time. Don't throw things at me if you love that show. And You Season 1 and Season 2, done. Now in terms of my reading column, I wanted to read and review on my channel 1 writing craft book per month, which I did. And these are all the books that I reviewed on my channel. If you're interested in checking out these reviews, I will link a playlist in the description box below. And also, I wanted to stop DNFing books. I wanted to push myself to finish books and possibly figure out why I didn't like these books. And just because I don't really like doing that, I did not DNF any books in quarter one because I didn't do much reading, to be honest. Now, the end of quarter one led into a lockdown period because of the pandemic, so I did not even attempt to put down any goals for quarter two of this year. I went through a lot of grief when it came to my life and just general anxiety about the whole situation. So I was completely paralyzed with my writing. I don't get writer's block. I just wasn't able to do any writing. I had a lot of introspection about everything going on. I ended up getting sick, not coronavirus, but it was just a lot at once. So what I ended up doing is I took those promotional plans that I thankfully prepared in quarter one, and all I did in the month of April was promote Barefoot on the Beach, which came out at the end of the month, and I did a live stream, and I will link that in the description box below in case you're interested in checking it out. It was a lot of fun, and just giving myself that time to focus on me was so important, and it really helped me get back to where I wanted to be within my writing and my author business. But I just feel like I needed that time, and I'm glad that I realized that and was able to take it for myself. Also too, I went back to look at my young adult thriller, and I completely changed my synopsis to make it an adult thriller because originally it's a YA, young adult character. I had to change a lot of things there. I worked on my chapter by chapter outline. I usually do bullet points for each of my chapters way ahead of time so I know what's to come, red herrings, especially with thrillers. And it wasn't even until late May that I was able to open my Scrivener document for this book. So when I said paralyzed, I really meant I was literally unable to open the software for my book. So when I did, it was a huge revelation for me. So overall, Q2 was hard. It was so hard for me to do much other than worry. Then I had the guilt. You know that guilt I'm talking about. Going on the internet, checking social media. Some people felt they had all the time in the world and they were able to be so productive because they were home all the time. But this was so much different than that. At least it was for me. This wasn't like taking a vacation or going on a writing retreat where that's literally all I could focus on. We could not even leave our house for anything. If you're like me and went through all of this or are still going through this, I just want to say that it's okay. I promise at some point you will get back to normal, or you may discover a new normal in your life. One simple thing that helped me out was getting my thoughts all in one place. I started a new planning process. If you've been here for a while, you know I love to plan. And I did a collaboration with fellow author tuber Marissa Mohi. I will link that collaboration in the cards above and also in the description if you want to check it out after this video. And I found that having everything in one place, having all of my thoughts down, things I wanted to do, even if I wasn't doing them, that's very important. It was just me being able to sort of brain dump all of my information in my brain about what I wanted to do onto paper so that I didn't worry about forgetting it, and that process of organizing my thoughts really helped. I've come to the realization that this summer and probably most of the year is pretty much canceled in terms of getting things done. And if I didn't adjust myself, then I knew I wouldn't accomplish any goals for this year. And that I think would have really bummed me out when it came to reflecting next year on this year. So my list for goals in Q3 are not as robust as they usually are. And that's also because I have 2 secret projects that are in the works, and the dates for those projects are a little bit up in the air right now, so I didn't want to plan it for Q3. Then maybe I don't need to start until Q4, so I wanted to just leave that off the list for now. And one of them may include a contract, so I'd like to keep that to myself for now. I will, of course, update you when I can. And of course, if I suddenly have the opportunity to do more, I will, but if I don't have to, I won't. So in terms of my author business, I didn't really categorize these in all of the different Kanban board columns because, as I said, it's all up in the air. So overall for my author business, I want to finish this thriller that I'm currently drafting. I would love to finish it by July, but I'm giving myself the whole quarter to finish it, and then possibly send it out to critique partners, but that would depend on when I finish it. I still want to send out my newsletter monthly, which I have consistently been doing throughout the year. I didn't mention that in my Q2 goals, but it wasn't really a goal. I just would have let it go if I needed to, but I was able to keep up with that, which is awesome. By the way, if you want to join my newsletter, I will link that also below. I have just revamped it recently, and I'm excited to have you subscribe. I give a ton of exclusives to my newsletter subscribers and giveaways, so don't miss out. And also for YouTube, I couldn't really find an opportunity to celebrate this because of everything that's going on, but I did reach 600 subscribers, which is so amazing. I did not even expect that, and I'm so thankful for you for subscribing. If you have not already subscribed, please do that below so you don't miss out on any of my updates moving forward. And also, as I mentioned in my video about Black Lives Matter and also my channel update, I am posting videos once a week because I'm very focused on my thriller and those secret projects I mentioned. So let me know in the comments below if you are interested in any video topics now that I'm moving down from 8 to 4 videos a month. I just wanted to see maybe if there were videos you really wanted to see that I could move into my schedule, so let me know. Now in terms of entertainment, I'm sticking with my mood reading and my mood watching of television and movies. I found that in the time that I took, not on purpose, but in the time I took when lockdown first started happening, where I was able to refill my creative well because I was mostly just trying not to think about everything else happening, that it's really important for me to do that, and I have to remember that. So putting it on my goals list is very important, so I'm just able to remind myself that yes, I can be busy and I can be doing all of the things, but I also need to take care of that aspect of my writing and creating, and that when I run dry, I get burnt out. So that's just gonna be a little bit up in the air for now. So I don't really have a huge list, and that's okay with me. The most important thing is that I'm actually excited to be in the writing trenches right now. At the end of last year, I was getting extremely burnt out with my ghostwriting and my contracted projects, so I'm just so excited that I gave myself the space and the ability to write what I want to write and when I want to write it. So all good things. So let me know what you're planning to accomplish this quarter in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, do give it a like. I post videos on Mondays talking about the writing process, writing tips, and all of the bookish things. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell next to it so you don't miss out the next time I upload. And I'll see you soon.